Then we move on to the colors of horses, superficial markings, and gaits of horses. Horses come in many colors, all of which are controlled by genetic variation in one or more genes within the horse's genetic makeup, which is inherited by both sire and dam. In horse industry, colors are extremely important for identification and for breeding purposes. There are also some breed associations who believe that color has an impact on the performance and personality of horses. There are 5 basic horse coat colors: the brown, black, bay, chestnut, and white. Some variations of these colors are dun, gray, palomino, pinto or paint, and roan. However, the other colors will also be tackled. Then the base coat color and lack of pigment. There are 2 main pigments that create all equine coat colors. All horses start with a base of either red or black. Horses with a base color display the pigment pheomelanin will have no eumelanin and thus display a red coat color. Other coat colors are due to lack of pigmentation, dilutions, or other patterning genes and their expression. Extension and agouti. The most basic horse color are controlled by 2 loci, extension and agouti. Every non-white horse is going to have either a black or red base coat color. These loci control the black, bay, and chestnut coloration. The white base colors. There are 2 white base colors, the white and gray. Both genes are genes epistasis, which means a dominant allele for either gene will mask other phenotypes or coat colors. White horses lack any pigmentation in the hair or skin. White is a dominant trait at the white locus. The genotype for white horses must be heterozygous dominant, as homozygous dominant is thought to cause early embryonic loss. Gray coat color is due to the presence of the dominant allele G at the gray. I have here a table with the color of horses. I have gathered 18 colors: the bay, black, brown, and so on and so forth, ending to the dark gray color. Then we move on to the superficial markings. A marking is a visual change of predominant coat color of a horse, which is also an important factor in identifying a horse. It can be alterations in the horse eye, coat color, or anywhere in the body. Superficial markings in the head. We have the snip, a small patch of white that appears over the muzzle, as well as the star, bulb face, blaze, and flame. To understand better, see the picture on the side. We can see some of the markings mentioned. In the legs, we have the cornet, a white strip that covers the cornet bands. Then the pastern, half pastern, ankle, outside and inside heel. In the picture given, we can also see the other markings in the legs, such as the stocking, sock, and fetlock. In the body, we have the chestnut, brand, and dorsal stripe. Chestnut, it is a callous area on the inside of the horse's leg with a subtle pattern. Brand is a mark of identification born on the cheek, shoulder, or hip, and dorsal stripe is a dark line running from the poll to the dock of the tail. In horse's mane and tail, we have the black points, silver, true white, and so on and so on. Now we move on to our last topic, which is the gait of horse. Gait is a characteristic rhythmic movements of a horse's leg and feet during motion, which can be natural or acquired, which are learned and enhanced by some training or shoeing. All gaits have a distinct footfall pattern that determines the beat and may or may not include a suspension. Then, dito natin nadidetermine ang mga natural gaits. The length of stride, tempo of footfall, and leg action will help determine the acquired gaits. We have 6 bases in determining gait. These are the footfall pattern, beat, suspension, tempo, stride, and action. The footfall pattern is a sequence in which each foot takes off from and strikes the ground. It can be beat, diagonal, and lateral. Beat is the interval when a foot strikes the ground. Suspension, the period of time when all feet are off the ground, but it can only be observed in few horses. Tempo is the speed at which footfalls occurs in gait stride, the distance between successive imprints of the same foot. Lastly, the action or animation that is achieved when a horse folds its knee and flexes its hock noticeably. There are 2 general classifications of gaits of horse, the natural and acquired gaits. Natural gaits are performed by natural impulse and without training. These are the walk, trot, and gallop, while acquired gaits are the result of specific training and practice. It includes the canter, rack, and slow gaits. However, there are some gaits that either be natural or acquired, in which are the running walk and the pace. Walk. It is a slow, natural, flat-footed 4-beat gait. It is known as the foundation gait. The sequence of hoof beats after the horse is in motion can be described according to a pattern: right 4, left rear, left 4, and right rear. Trot or jog is a rapid 2-beat diagonal gait. The trot should be square balanced and springy with a straightforward movement of the feet. Then gallop and run. It is generally considered as a fast 3-beat gait. The sequence of hoof beat is similar to that of the canter. The gallop in an extended form is known as the run. That's are the natural gaits. To understand it better, we can relate it sa mga tao. The walk, trot, and gallop is just similar to human movement. We can apply the hoof sequence and we'll realize that it is indeed the same lang kung paano kit maglakad, magjog, at tumakbo. Now, let's go on to the acquired gaits. We have canter, rock, running walk, slow gait, pace, foxtrot, and the flat foot walk. First is a canter or lope. Canter is an easy rhythmical 3-beat gait. It is executed with either right or left lead, and there is a period of suspension between each stride. Then rack. Rack is a fast, flashy, evenly timed 4-beat gait. The feet start and stop at the same intervals of time of each others. Running walk. This is natural slow gait of tennis walking horse. It is a diagonal 4-beat gait in which the hindquarters propel the horse in motion. Slow gait or stepping pace. This is a slow lateral 4-beat gait. Each of the 4 feet strike the ground at separate intervals. In the takeoff, the lateral hind and front feet start almost together, but the hind foot strikes the ground ahead of the front foot on the same side. Then pace. The pace is a flat 2-beat gait. It does not produce the concussion evident in the gallop or run. It produces more or less or rolling motion. Foxtrot. This gait is a slow, short, broken, somewhat uncollected nodding trot. The hind foot strikes the ground an instant before the diagonal front foot. Flat foot walk. It is identical to walk gait but faster, more energetic, and long-reaching. And that there's everything to it. Thank you everyone for spending an ample of your time listening in this lesson. I hope that you've learned something. Thank you everyone and God bless.